D.C. to become a state. Governor shoots down transgender bill. Senators shoot down transgender bill. And the Miracle Man retires. This is the April 23rd report. I'm your host, Isaac Lopez, and this show is presented by TLG Radio. Stick around for the brief breakdown where we will discuss the Manhattan bomber and what insight it has to offer on the Derek Chauvin trial. In politics, for the second year in a row, Democrat-controlled House of Representatives passed a bill that would approve the District of Columbia as a state. The bill now moves to the Senate, where it is anticipated to fall short of the 60 votes necessary to be ratified. A bill restricting transgender girls from K through 12 sports in North Dakota passed the House of Representatives and the Senate, but was then vetoed by Governor Doug Burgum. Burgum went on to say, North Dakota has fairness in girls and boys sports in large part because of the caring and thoughtful leadership of the North Dakota High School Activities Association Board and its members. We have every confidence they will continue to ensure a level playing field for the more than 27,000 students who participate in North Dakota high school sports. On to sports. A similar bill for restricting transgender girls from girls' sports is up to bat in the Florida Senate, but it is being put on hold, which Politico believes that this is a sign of wavering support for the bill in the Senate. Stargell, a Lakeland Republican, said in a statement to Politico, "Right now, my primary focus as appropriations chair is our constitutional responsibility to pass a balanced budget. And in a time-limited environment, I don't know that we will have sufficient time to visit SB 2012 this session." Alex Smith announced his retirement from the NFL following his horrific leg injury, which nearly cost him his life. He came back to this year to lead the Washington football team to claiming the division title and then a postseason appearance. He went on to win the Comeback Player of the Year award, which I move that we ought to rename after him. On to health. From Axios, more than a year into the coronavirus pandemic, some 3 in 10 healthcare professionals say they've considered leaving the profession, citing burnout and stress, a Washington Post Kaiser Family Foundation poll out Thursday indicates. From Yahoo News on Thursday, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention told Today the agency is considering revising its mask guidance. We'll be looking at the outdoor masking question, but also in the context of the fact that we still have people who are dying of COVID-19, Dr. Rochelle Walensky said. In culture, the law enforcement branch of the U.S. Postal Service is running a project now known as ICOP, or Internet Covert Operations Program. Analysts are searching through social media sites to look for inflammatory posts, and then they share this across government agencies. In a quote distributed from the Department of Homeland Security's Fusion Centers, it says, analysts with the United States Postal Service Inspection Service, USPIS, Internet Covert Operations Program monitored significant activity regarding planned protests occurring internationally and domestically on March 20th, 2021. Locations and times have been identified for these protests, which are being distributed across multiple social media platforms to include right-wing leaning Parler and Telegram accounts. Derek Chauvin was tried and found guilty on all counts. The jury found him guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. And now, to finish with some good news. According to the Spokesman Review, jobless claims fell to 547,000, a pandemic low. Another encouraging note for the labor market. If you want to drop a tip, email me at thebriefnewsbrief@gmail.com. Also, if you want more reporting from other reporters who share a similar vision as myself, check out TLG News, a site dedicated to reporting in succinct and honest ways. If you're interested in writing for TLG, reach out to me at thelifegivenandreceived@gmail.com. In conclusion, remember who the real enemy is. Ephesians 6:12. God bless. I will speak with you next Friday or in a moment in the brief breakdown. On the heels of the Derek Chauvin case, we saw a surge of "that's not enough" hot takes. It took 1 year to convict the man who knelt on the neck of George Floyd for nearly 10 minutes. This must mean that there is institutional racism, because it took 1 year. What else could it be? Let's read this following story. Now, this following story will be verbatim from the Washington Post. In New York, a Bangladeshi immigrant who in 2017 set off a bomb in a busy subway artery beneath Manhattan's Port Authority bus terminal was sentenced Thursday to life in prison for the attack, which authorities said was inspired by his devotion to the Islamic State terrorist group. Akayed Ullah, 31, wanted to kill as many Americans as possible, officials said, but would-be victims were spared because his explosive device malfunctioned. One person sustained a shrapnel wound to the leg, and 2 other victims were left with hearing damage. Ullah also was injured in the incident. On the morning of December 11, 2017, Ullah, who worked as a cab driver after his arrival in the United States, made his way by subway from his home in Brooklyn to the station at West 42nd Street and 7th and 8th Avenues. He had a bomb strapped to his chest and a battery in his pants pocket. The article continues on after some political posturing. The Islamic State supporter was found guilty at trial in 2018 of providing material support to a terrorist organization using a weapon of mass destruction, bombing a public place, and related accounts. On Thursdays, U.S. Circuit Judge Richard Sullivan granted federal prosecutors' request that Ullah spend the rest of his life in prison. Lawyers for Ullah asked for leniency at his sentencing, arguing in a memo that he was not personally connected to the Islamic State and that he was in the grips of a personal crisis at the time of his crimes. He faced a mandatory minimum sentence of 35 years in prison. Note the timeline of this article. A terrorist in 2017 sought to explode a busy subway, and he wasn't convicted until 2018, and then his sentence wasn't upped or expanded upon until 2021. Could it just be that our justice system is really, really slow? I know it is one story versus another story. Do some more digging. I just find it too fast for my taste. Regardless of my personal opinions of the trial, of the Chauvin trial, that is, and the Chauvin verdict, and the surrounding cultural climate, my one takeaway is this: stop jumping to conclusions. 2020 taught us some lessons, but I don't know if we learned from them. Let me know what you think. Reach out to me at thebriefnewsbrief@gmail.com. Remember who the real enemy is. Ephesians 6:12. God bless, and I will speak with you all next Friday.